seems it came off in a straight line. Well, the car was in a straight line, that is. There's proof Paul's been working on his fitness during the offseason. There is Paul. Pits right behind the scene of the accident. Paul Tracy told a group of journalists something interesting this week. He said, following the death of Dale Earnhardt last February at the Daytona 500, Paul was contacted by Richard Childress about his availability to become a NASCAR Winston Cup driver. Paul said, "Now I'm going to stay in the single-seaters until perhaps age 38. But who knows what might happen after that." There you see his car being lifted away by one of the movable cranes built by the Gale Company, corporate partner with the CART FedEx Championship Series. A 35-foot arm extension on this vehicle. It's an amazing thing. It's got four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, and can actually crab sideways. Goes right through the sand and clears cars out of the sand traps so that we can get underway quickly. On board with Kenny Brack, Calvin Fish.
Well, Kenny was in, as was his teammate Bruno Junqueira and Scott Dixon for that matter. Three men on that team now. For Kenny and Bruno, no changes whatsoever. Very happy with the balance of the race cars. No front wing adjustment, no tire pressure adjustment. Kenny's just hanging in there, Michael said. We're very happy with the progress. We just want to get more laps under our belt and go for it towards the end of the run.
There you see Bruno Junqueira with one win at Motegi, Japan on the oval track under his belt already this year. Part of the three-car Target Chip Ganassi racing effort, along with Kenny Brack and the newly arrived Scott Dixon. Paul Tracy is now out of the Bridgestone Grand Prix of Monterey, one of four former winners who started the race. The other three, Michael Andretti, Jimmy Vasser, and Max Pappas, are still in the game. Cristiano D'Amata remains out front. He has now led 100 of 183 laps run on road courses in 2002, and this one is a long way from over. Stand by for more from Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. We'll be right back. Welcome back to a beautiful day on California's Monterey Peninsula. The Bridgestone Grand Prix of Monterey, presented by Mazda, continues here on Speed Channel. I'm Bob Varsha, along with Tommy Kendall, Derek Daly, Scott Pruitt, and Calvin Fish. We are under the caution flag on lap number 20 of 87 scheduled this afternoon. There's Jimmy Vasser, one of the former winners of this race. Three still in the race after Paul Tracy brought out the yellow flag with a crash when the left rear wheel departed the race car. Is now, we hope, going to make his way to join us here in our announce booth. Now let's get some updates on pit stops under the yellow flag. Scott Pruitt.
With that yellow came out, a lot of action down here in the pits. Most everybody has been in and out. Tony Kanaan came out almost on top of Christian Fittipaldi. He's complaining very hot on the radio talking about who should be in front of who. And I'm also just got done talking to Cristiano's crew chief, and they said the car is great. He's just running his race right now, waiting for the laps to unwind. Calvin?
A problem on one of the players' pit stops here, Scott, for Tagliani. The right front air gun had a problem. The D10 was actually in between positions, just blowing air, so they couldn't get the wheel off very quickly. They are confident the wheel is back on tight, and they think they've fixed the problem here.
Let's hope so for their sake. On board with Cristiano D'Amata. As he comes up to speed, Jim Swintel waves the green flag. We're back underway. 20 laps complete. The order is D'Amata, Brack, Townsend Bell did not stop. There is the running order across the top of your screen. Jimmy Vasser also did not stop. He's currently 5th. Michel Jourdain Jr. did not stop. He is 7th. They'll be the next cars due in the pits within a dozen laps.
And those guys will be running on a lighter fuel load than the guys in front of them. They're trapped between cars, so unless they can actually make on-track passes, they are not going to be able to make good use of that extra speed if they have it.
Paul Tracy became the 3rd car out of the race. Currently running in 13th and 14th are Max Pappas and Michael Andretti. Derek Daly has more on them.
Interesting, Bob. Michael Andretti suffering a lot of understeer. However, he has made 4 pit stops already within 17 laps. Last year, Max Pappas made 5 pit stops total, 4 of them within the first 15 to 17 laps, and he went on to win. Michael's hoping for the same thing. Scott?
Paul, we saw going out, looks like there was some trouble on the left rear.
It was
was disappointing because we had a bit of a plan going on there. I had a damaged flugelhorn was missing, so the car really wasn't its best because we were missing the right side flugelhorn in that first lap incident. But we were just going to try to struggle around and get some points, and we came in and did that scheduled stop to try to get us out of the pack there, and we didn't get the wheel nut on, I guess, and it waved me out, and I went, and the tire fell off.
Tough luck, buddy. See you at Portland. Bob?
Just for the record, I think the flugelhorn is a musical instrument, and the flugel is the aerodynamic device, is it not?
He's the guy that does it for a living, so if he says it's the flugelhorn, it's the flugelhorn.
That's the way to bet. Climbing the hill through turn 6. Up and over the brow. You can see how it's difficult, if not impossible, to see over that first brow. That's where Christian Fittipaldi was creeping, having run out of gas, when Alex Tagliani, one of the players' Forsythe cars, came over the brow, saw Fittipaldi at the last possible moment, flicked the car to the right, saving Fittipaldi, but putting Tagliani's car right into the wall, and stripping off the right side of the car. A huge crash, and there you see Tagliani currently running in 10th place. Through turn 2, known as the Andretti hairpin, where once upon a time the track continued in a gentle left-hand curve that cars would take at absolutely phenomenal speeds, even in one of those Formula Mazdas that you drove the old track in, TK.
Well, whatever the car was, and we see a dice here with Bruno and Jimmy Vasser.
Well, now Vasser comes under attack from Christian Fittipaldi as they climb to turn 6. Nope, we can't get by.
Actually had a nice chat with Mario about the old turn 2, and he's only did it flat out once his entire life in qualifying when he was in a duel with Bobby Rahal. It was great listening to him talk about what it took to suck it up and do that. And he came in, and Mo Nunn said, "Can we make the car better?" He said, "I almost smacked him."
That's an amazing track. By moving the cars down into the infield section, they not only made the track arguably safer, they also lengthened it, keeping with FIA regulations. And there was a lot of talk about a Formula One race here at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. That would be something to see. Cars fairly evenly spaced right now. This is the infield portion. Turn 3, where the wall's been moved back driver's right by about 3 or 4 feet, mostly at the request of the AMA Superbikers, who race here each year, along with the World Superbike Series. That coming up later this summer here in Monterey. You're on board with the race leader, Cristiano D'Amata. We'll be right back. As a look at Cristiano D'Amata, who remains the race leader, and his gap is widening over second place Kenny Brack, now out to 5.1 seconds. 2 seconds behind Brack is Townsend Bell, but he's got a pit stop coming up within 4 laps, as do the 2 Team Rahal cars, Jimmy Vasser and Michel Jourdain. There's a look at the gap on the racetrack to Brack.
But guess what? It's not going to matter what anyone's pit stop strategy is if they can't start running a little bit quicker, because Cristiano D'Amata is just picking them up and laying them down. Last lap, 1.2 seconds quicker than anybody else. And as you remember, his middle stint in Monterey, Mexico, Monterey 2Rs, he had this demon middle stint, and Paul Tracy was on a divergent strategy there. We didn't get to see how it played out because of his fuel pickup problem, but that middle stint when Cristiano got off by himself at the front and just put down a series of incredible laps. And these other guys that have, like Townsend Bell, Jimmy Vasser, they have to come in shortly. They have one more stop than the leaders do at this point. So it got them up there for a little while, but the only strategy that makes a lot of sense for me in terms of really gambling was the one that Paul Tracy was trying, and he was the only one that did that. Once the yellow came out, everybody else stopped, and had Paul Tracy done that, he would have been able to go to the end and hope for a break in the middle of the race. Now everyone's on about the same one, with the exception of the guys that have one more stop.
You're looking at Tony Kanaan, currently running in 15th, but I think he has an argument with having to run in that position. Does he not, Scott Pruitt?
Tony Kanaan and the whole Pioneers team continues to have all this bad luck. 2 things have happened. One, he ran over toward Takagi's airline coming in, so had to go to the back of the pack coming off that restart. And secondly, no clutch. They had a problem with that in warm-up. A mad thrash. In fact, they barely got the Pioneer car out to the grid before the start of the race, and unfortunately, it's gone bad as well. Bob?
Oh, more bad luck for one of the most popular guys in the pit lane, Tony Kanaan, whose finishes this year, no checkered flags, mind you. He DNF'd in all of them. 16th in Mexico, 20th in Long Beach, 15th at Motegi, 16th a week ago on the Milwaukee Mile. It's been so difficult for Tony Kanaan, not to mention the Indianapolis 500, where it looked like he had everybody covered for a while.
And one of the things he was so upset about, in addition to it being bad luck, he felt that the equipment was being left out by the team. He didn't feel like he had much choice but to run it over. So he was pretty strong, and he's very, very good-natured guy, but he was really irate on the radio saying, if they keep doing that, he says, I'm going to do something about it. What he can do, I'm not sure, but he felt that it was not his fault that he ran over that equipment.
There's Michael Andretti, former winner at this racetrack. Started stone last in the field, currently running 14th. Ooh, lighting up the right front as he tries to go underneath Max Papis. And he gets it done. And Tony Kanaan wants a piece of that too.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure Michael actually even meant to do that. I'm quite serious. You come up over the hill, and I think he got in there, got the brakes locked. He moved to the inside to give himself a little bit more time to try to get it wound down at the very last second.
He flashed into Max Papis's left side mirror. And Max gave him room.
He certainly gave him room. Without that, it was a late pass. Without Max giving him room at the last second, I don't think he could have pulled that off. But whether he tried to or not, he got the job done. I think that's the first on-track pass we've seen.
Michael moves up to P13. He tries to pull off another miracle, like the one he did in Long Beach earlier this year, driving the Reynard chassis for Team Motorola. Great pit calls and some very hard driving brought Michael his 42nd career victory, most among active drivers, and third all time.
The way he's driving away, it does tell me that he probably did try to do that. But sometimes when he came up over the hill, his brakes were locked almost from the very instant that he got on him. So I wasn't sure if it was avoidance that turned into from lemons to lemonade. But the way he's pulling away, it looks like he decided he couldn't be held up by Max any longer.
Nothing but clean racetrack for this guy right now. Number 6 in the Chevron car, Cristiano Damata. What an amazing story these guys are for Newman Haas Racing. Absolutely killer on the road courses, then put him on the ovals at Motegi and Milwaukee. I mean, Motegi got lapped about 13 times. Milwaukee is a bit unfair because he ran into fuel pressure problems and had to pit about every 5 laps. Wound up making 10 pit stops, a race in which most teams made 3. There is his teammate, Christian Fittipaldi. Scott Pruitt has more on him.
Christian is anxious to see these guys in front of him come in for their pit stop. He feels like they're holding them up a little bit. So when they come in, it's up to him to really get up and go and try and catch those guys in front of him. That's the difference with these different pit stop strategies we're seeing today.
Well, he's going to get his wish right now, Scott, because Jimmy Vasser ahead of him on the road is completing his 25th lap. If I'm not mistaken, he'll have to come in this time. There's the crew in the pit lane ready for him.
Yeah, to keep this from playing out on the next 2 stops.
Help Jimmy out if you can, Ricky, just a little. Pits are wide open. Pits are wide open.
Mark Johnson on the radio to Jimmy Vasser.
Here we are.
Calvin Fish.
Jimmy Vasser is in, his teammate Michel Jourdain right behind him. We're hearing the radio communication. We're seeing a front wing change, taking some, whoa! Left front guy nearly got run over there by Jimmy Vasser, taking a look out of that car, wall wing in Michel Jourdain. Let's get down to Derek.
Track green.
Townsend Bell just made a great pit stop. He came in behind Jimmy Vasser. He got in, stopped, fuel, tires, and left ahead of Jimmy Vasser. Now, the reason Jim McGee has left Townsend Bell out running at the front, he said because he wants to give him the experience of running at the front so as he can boost his confidence and prove to himself, after all the crashes of earlier this year, that Townsend Bell can run with the big boys.
27-year-old Townsend Bell, a rookie for Patrick Racing and the Vistion team. It has been a struggle for those boys this year.
Bell's
Here's a look at the pit stop.
They're not. Bell is here.
Patrick team has been doing this for a long, long time. In fact, this, if I'm not mistaken, is their 25th career start at Laguna Seca. They have had 2 third-place finishes. Those by Chip Ganassi in 1983 when he drove for Pat Patrick. Later was partners in the team with him, and then bought out Pat Patrick to form his own team. We all know what happened after that. The other guy who has finished 3rd at Laguna Seca for Pat Patrick is our own Scott Pruitt. There is Jimmy Vasser, back on track, currently shown in 14th. Bell is shown 13th. Michel Jourdain, 15th. We'll be right back to the Monterey Peninsula. Welcome back. You're riding with Kenny Brack. Be sure to join us next weekend for our Speed Channel exclusive coverage of the greatest sports car race in the world, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Our coverage begins with 7 hours around the start, beginning 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, June 15th. We'll join you at dawn for 3.5 hours of coverage at 12:30 a.m. That's Sunday morning, Eastern Time, dawn in France, and then the finish. Another 3 hours beginning at 7:30 a.m. Sunday, the 16th of June. The 24 Hours of Le Mans exclusively here on Speed Channel. There's Jimmy Vasser, just having completed a pit stop, but it was a precarious one. Calvin Fish has more.
Well, it was a little scary when the Shell car came in there as they did the tire change. They then went to the front wing, and Matt Matika, you're working on the left front. What happened there? It looked like Jimmy almost run you over.
Yeah, he just got a little antsy taking off. We had a wing adjustment to make up front, and he took off a little bit. We got the wing adjustment done, though everything's fine.
You say your glove got caught up a little bit on it?
Just a little bit. As I was twisting to the left, it was just hung up a little bit. He took off, he stopped, I got my hand out and done everything's okay. I'm fine, everyone else is fine.
Okay, well, they handled it pretty coolly down here, but track position is key. Getting in and out of the pits is very important, and the Ford guys have really worked hard on the launch control, which means they can actually hang a lot of revs and use the traction control to get some bite off this new concrete here in pit lane. Let's go down to Scott Pruitt with Adrian.
Adrian, short day at the office. What happened?
It was, well, it was a tight start. Everybody was very tied up into corner 1, and I saw a gap coming into 1 between me, Michel, and Bell. So, you know, I just went into the inside. And I think I touched Michel. I don't know for certain, but I think I was just barely touched. And after that, I think other things were happening at the same time. And then I got hit on the back, and, you know, everything happened. So I just have to see the tape. But it's a shame. The team has been doing very well. This is our first DNF. But we're looking forward to put everything back together for Portland.
See you next weekend. Bob?
Adrian Fernandez, the only owner-driver in the series. Here's another look at what he's talking about, TK.
I don't see the opening he's talking about.
Fernandez to the outside.
He hit everything but the lottery there.
And he wound up, tail towards us. He actually got into Paul Tracy and ran Paul off the track as he exits the left of your screen.
Devastating for the Mexicans. All 3 Mexicans taken out or set back severely in that accident.
A Brazilian runs up front, followed by a Swede, another Brazilian, and a New Zealander. Where is the top American? Michael Andretti now runs in 10th. We'll be right back live to Laguna Seca. Welcome back. There's a look down from our Honda Skycam above the Mario Andretti hairpin at Laguna Seca. And you can see where the old race course used to run along that road across the bottom, rejoining at what is now turn 5. Thank you, Tommy. Thanks to the folks from Honda for the use of the Skycam. Here's a look at the championship coming into this 5th round. Cristiano D'Amato leads over Michel Jourdain Jr., Bruno Junqueira, Christian Fittipaldi. Dario Franchitti is out of the race. Kenny Brett currently runs 2nd. Max Pappas is back in 11th, and Alex Tagliani is up into 7th. But Cristiano D'Amato is the race leader, and to correct that, that's after 4 of 20 rounds because this is the 5th round. Next week we'll be at Portland International Raceway with lots of coverage of the Kart FedEx Championship Series. Of course, it's a road course, 2 rounds of qualifying, Friday and Saturday. 5 p.m. Eastern Friday, 4:30 p.m. Saturday. Live here on Speed Channel, Kart Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And the race coverage will be on the CBS networks on Sunday beginning at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So join us next weekend for the G.I. Joe's 200 from Portland. Cristiano Damata now leads by 10.6 seconds over Kenny Brack. We'll be right back. Pit stops are coming up. Welcome back to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. You ride with Cristiano Damata. Working lap number 42. Bridgestone Grand Prix of Monterey presented by Mazda. I'm Bob Varsha along with Tommy Kendall, Scott Pruitt, Derek Daly, and Calvin Fish. We expect pit stops shortly. Here's the best battle on the racetrack right now. Bruno Junqueira third, Christian Fittipaldi fourth.
Christian got held up a little bit behind Townsend Bell, and so when they got out of his way, he was able to dial Bruno back in, but they are both on the same strategy. So both their pit stops and their out laps will be important to watch to see if, because this is the closest battle on the track that might be affected in the next pit stop. They both should be coming in this lap. All the leaders actually have to be in this lap.
We expect 10 or 11 cars in on this lap.
Watch your speed when you
Here comes Tony Kanaan. Remember, he has no clutch. Team goes to work from Mo Nunn Racing. Be interesting to see how they get him away. Here comes Damata, the race leader. Scott Pruitt awaits him.
I had a chance to talk to Peter Gibbons. He's saying Cristiano's complaining about not getting enough rear traction. What they've done is they made a slight change on the rear tire pressure down. Looks like everybody's pretty standard. A little problem getting on right rear run. Fuel's in. He's away. Derek?
Watch your speed.
They just put 1.5 turns more front wing on Kenny Brack's car.
There goes Kenny Brack. Calvin Fish.
The players team are in here. Patrick Carpentier first. No changes, we believe, on that car. He had an alarm coming on. They told him to ignore it. And actually, that's his lap cam. Meanwhile, his teammate Tagliani, we expect more front wing on this change. 4 times of course going on with the fuel. Should be a routine stop. Everything's looking. You see the front wing change. Car comes down, waiting for the fuel. Revs up. 4 traction control and launch control in work there, and he's off.
He is back on his way. You saw a little bit of Alphonse and Gaston before Christian Fittipaldi took the position from Bruno Junqueira at the end of the pit lane. There's Max Pappas back on his way.
So Newman Haas did a big bang-up job in the pits for Christian Fittipaldi and got him out ahead of Bruno. And now all these guys, this is a very important lap, as we talked about with Paul Tracy, the out lap on cold tires.
Tony Kanaan did get back underway. There's Fittipaldi. Scott Pruitt.
That's exactly right. I was standing down here, and I don't know if they had contact between Christian Fittipaldi and Bruno Junqueira, but it's extremely close. Christian certainly muscled his way past during the pit stop.
Hey, Scott, what's it like to drive these cars on cold tires?
These things are wicked. They want to get out from underneath you, run so much camber, about 4 degrees in the front, 2.5 in the rear, and when they're cold, very, very difficult. The other thing, these guys are used to running with a light load of fuel. You put another full load of fuel back in, and that's about 250, 300 pounds, and changes totally the characteristics. So it's very, very difficult going out in cold tires not to make a mistake.
The steering effort goes through the roof, and Christian not only is dealing with it well, dealing with it, here's really much better than Bruno. Demon outlap.
There's Damata, just past the halfway mark now. Let's reset the order. Damata, Brack, Fittipaldi, Junqueira. Here's a look at the action in the pit Scott was talking about.
Christian definitely gave him the squeeze. I think Bruno, he did leave him a lane, but it wasn't certain in Bruno's mind that he was going to. And I think Bruno blinked first, and that might have cost him the position.
Definitely. There is Damata. Saw his last lap time. Kenny Brack was faster, as was Christian Fittipaldi last time by. There's Michael Andretti. He did not pit. He is currently shown in 5th.
In Bruno's defense, that's a wise move. It doesn't do any good to be right and have a right to be there and be put up over the guardrail and out of the championship hunt.
Michael will be due in the pits. To the pits he goes. The order is Damata, Brack, Fittipaldi, Junqueira. Carpentier now moves up to 5th with Andretti stopping. Dixon, Bell, Vassar, Jourdain, and Takagi, the top 10. Michael comes to a stop on the new concrete pad in the pit lane here. Newly widened pit lane. Scott Pruitt.
Yeah, they're going to make a wing change on the front. They just put one turn in front wing. He's picking up a little too much push. They're waiting for the fuel, waiting for the fuel. Lines him up, and he's on his way. Bob?
Thank you, Scott. Down comes the visor. The winningest driver in the series is back out in the Motorola car. Woo. That looked a little tricky as Shinji Nakano comes in and has to take a discretionary line.
Yeah, that's a bit of a dicey move, but that might pay dividends for Michael. He's on cold tires. If he can hold Nakano off here, he will have made a position. He was behind him before they both made their recent stops, and so he's on cold tires. Nakano's had a couple more laps to get some heat into his, but that was a really bold move to force Nakano wide. But if he can get back up to speed, he can probably stretch away.
I guess you don't win 42 Champ Car races in your career without making a bold move every now and then. Derek Daly.
Bob, quick update on Kenny Brack's chase of this man here, Cristiano D'Amata. Kenny does not believe he has the speed to run with him. So far, he is 0.3 of a second. His fastest lap is 0.3 of a second slower than D'Amata. That's why they put 1.5 turns of front wing in it, hoping to get rid of the understeer that is plaguing Kenny Brack's overall speed and his chase of D'Amata.
Chalk up another bonus championship point for that man, Cristiano D'Amata. He has now put himself in an unassailable position for most laps led in the race. In fact, he's led every lap to this point, so he will add that to his championship total thus far. We'll take a break and return live to the Monterey Peninsula with more from Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. Welcome back live to Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. You're watching Townsend Bell in the orange and white Visteon car, Jimmy Vasser in the Shell car, and Michel Jourdain Jr. in the white Gigante car. Those three drivers all pitted together, and they now have about 8 laps to go before they will pit together once again. These pictures coming from our Honda Skycam. Beautiful view of Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
Well, they've shuffled up the order a little bit. Bell's running in 7th, Vasser 8th, Jourdain 9th. They have one extra stop. They have to stop on lap 55 and lap 80, whereas everybody else only has one more stop. So, you know, Jim McGee was doing it for